You're watching Newsday TV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ken Bufa. First in Newsday, former Suffolk Police Chief James Burke has been arrested again. This is video of him leaving the 6th precinct this afternoon. Burke is facing several charges, including offering a sex act, public lewdness, and indecent exposure.
Due to the actions that I am not going to share, this individual was placed under arrest. The Rangers ascertained that our perpetrator involved was identified as James Burke, former chief of the Suffolk County Police Department.
Suffolk Park Rangers busted Burke this morning at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Park in Farmingville. The Rangers were only there a few minutes before making the arrest.
Not until he identified himself and said who he was, do you know who I am?
He was expressing to us how this would, be a public humiliation for him and such.
Burke was released from prison in 2018 after a 46-month sentence for beating a handcuffed man, then orchestrating a cover-up of the incident. Police are trying to figure out now if Burke is still on federal probation. And there's surveillance video now showing people trying to escape a deadly shooting in Valley Stream. Police say it happened at an illegal foam party. NewsdayTV's Sherry Einhorn reports.
Watch as people run for their lives, some scrambling over fences in the parking lot after shots rang out Monday night in Valley Stream. Nassau police say it happened here outside an event space called Dopey's World, where investigators say there was an illegal party underway that had been advertised on social media. A 20-year-old from Brooklyn was shot and killed. 4 others were also injured, including a 12-year-old who was shot in his shoulder.
Very worried, because that's sad, because there's a lot of kids that run up and down the block and play around, and I have a child. So that hurts.
Police aren't saying whether the party was targeted. The suspect, armed with a handgun, is still at large. Investigators are now asking for the public's help in identifying the suspect and the 50 to 60 partygoers.
Around 8:30, a male assailant came up from the westbound 131st Avenue in Queens, which is right on the border. He fired 8 times, striking multiple people. After shooting 8 times, the assailant went westbound on 131st Avenue into Queens.
Investigators say admission was charged, alcohol was served, as was possibly liquid marijuana. But the owner of the space, who wasn't at the party, telling reporters her rental contract states no alcohol allowed, and she's not sure what happened.
It's a tragedy what happened. We never had anything like this happen before.
The flyer advertised a foam party with a DJ from 3 to 11 p.m. Nassau police say they will continue cracking down on illegal parties.
We will be moving our Operation Overwatch into the community. We will make sure that it is up and down the border with New York City and Nassau County.
Now, police are saying that promoters of the event here could face charges if and when they're identified. Investigators are also looking at other previous parties where there was violence to see if there's any connection. In Valley Stream, I'm Sherry Einhorn for Newsday TV.
And first in Newsday, a Roosevelt man is accused of attempted murder after a case of road rage. Police say 22-year-old Marquise Porter fired several shots into a car with a man inside and then drove into the guy's car twice. This all happened in Uniondale. Porter is also facing reckless endangerment, weapons possession, and drug charges. And more than 1,000 homeless migrants are expected to fill tents at the Queens-Nassau border. Congressman George Santos showed up today at Creedmoor Psychiatric Center to share his thoughts.
Why can't we just house them all on Park Avenue, 57th Street, where the folks are voting for these policies?
Santos, who has been indicted by the feds for allegedly making false statements in financial disclosures, said the New York City mayor should stop accepting the migrants. And the state just released its master plan for transforming Nessequag River State Park. State park officials say it'll include a performance space for live events. They also plan on adding a dog run, botanical garden, and more. The 521-acre facility was home to the Kings Park Psychiatric Center, which closed in 1996. All right, let's take a look at your Long Island weather. And here's some good news. Tonight, it's partly cloudy skies. And check out tomorrow. It's going to be sunny with temps in the 70s. Take a closer look at tomorrow. You can see it's going to be a gorgeous day with sun all day long.
Long Island weather is brought to you by King O'Rourke Automotive Group.
Sharks along our shores. This summer, there have been at least 6 reported shark bites. In part 1 of my special series, I show you the tactics being used to keep swimmers safe. It's a story you'll see only in Newsday.
Obviously, when those calls do come in for shark sightings, then we're called out.
State Park Police Officer Troy Coe-Payne lets us climb aboard a now routine marine shark patrol. Just one of many strategies to protect swimmers.
So I'm looking for just basically signs on the surface.
Because the surface tells the story.
When I see those bigger schools, I see them jumping out of the water erratically, then I know it's either striped bass, maybe bluefish, or now maybe sharks that's causing that frenzy.
And with the sea beneath them, officers are now taking to the sky. Governor Kathy Hochul announced the state is spending $1 million on 60 new drones for city and Long Island beaches. And now the drones are tearing through the Long Island sky.
Their drones are up in the air constantly, whether it's our drone or a lifeguard's drone. There's always patrols being done.
Now these are obviously not your average drones. They have an 8K camera, a 40-minute flight time, infrared sensors to see in the dark, and these can actually speak to you.
Is the New York State Park Police.
So State Park Police can warn you if they see something they don't like.
With new tech, new tactics, and a new approach, authorities believe they could protect swimmers while keeping predators in view.
There's always some degree of risk anytime you enter the water, but we're trying to show people that with all these assets that we have in place, marine, aviation, drone, lifeguards on the beachfront, that we're doing everything possible to keep Long Island swimmers safe as they enter the water.
Now, State Park Police say the drones will not be used for individual surveillance, but can help with missing persons searches. To read more about sharks along our shores, go to Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. And here's what's coming up tomorrow.
So much benefit to the ocean themselves, and they are extremely misunderstood.
Swimming with sharks. I go underwater to help us understand the good sharks do for the ocean. Back to school shopping is getting more expensive. So how are Long Island parents handling it? Sherry Einhorn has a story you'll see only in Newsday.
It's still summertime, but like it or not, school is around the corner.
Hi, how are you?
That means the shopping and spending are in full swing.
Well over $1,000 easily for back to school stuff.
Shopping smart is always great.
I don't even know what I've spent, to be honest.
According to the National Retail Federation, back to school spending is expected to hit an all-time high, $41.5 billion. I'm not sure this counting book goes that high. There are obviously things that kids need and other things they may want. What was you really wanted to have today?
A backpack and some new shirts.
So how do parents draw the line between the two?
New backpacks, and pretty much that's it, and just take it from there and see what they need as school progresses.
Sales draw customers in, but good prices keep them coming back.
We have from $10 all the way up to $100. Depends where you want to be. We could fit everyone's budget. We could clothe every kid.
Even the basics add up. According to this year's NRF survey, families with children in elementary through high school plan on spending an average of $890, $25 more than last year.
I actually tried to start as soon as possible so that I could sort of take my time and find really good deals and sales.
Binghamton University sophomore Seth Schlank is furnishing an off-campus apartment with help from his mom and grandmother.
They really need all this more expensive item if there's another less expensive version of it right next door.
And that depends on who's buying, or you do that no matter what?
Just no matter what.
Oh, okay, even if grandma's paying? In Plainview, I'm Sherry Einhorn for Newsday TV.
It is pricey. Now, to read more about the back-to-school shopping on Long Island, go to Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
Working in journalism, I think you experience the world in a really different way than people in other professions do. I find it very satisfying to learn about things and get to tell other people about them.
Newsday, covering Long Island like no one else can.
You're watching Newsday TV. I'm Ken Buffa. Thank you so much for joining us. We leave you now with a look at your 7-day forecast.